Hi! What if? Okay, that's a serious allegation, my dude. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but that's when he went missing. She murdered him, I'm sure of it, or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me. That's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? What's got you scared of a fucking high schooler, my dude? Who? Huh? He? Huh? Blah? Well, you see, if you can't explain it, then I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. She's a fucking high schooler. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on this all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you've spilled the beans. Yes, that's it exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get to me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon. Now, the hiccups. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? Hi. You get a little head pats from me for a hot second. This one. You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? No, look at how he purses his lips. Smash. I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. It's true, her house. Yeah, forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. Hey. That got me nowhere. That's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk, but I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it. Then if we could just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she was kidnapping Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, there's a good chance she knows something. Did I fuck that up? She was with Shuichi. I'm already accusing her of her crimes. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name is Kohei Jonuichi. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then this schoolgirl is one of his students. I think that's very likely. Ooh, Mama's pissed. What you think about, pretty lady? My heart's still racing. This is it, my chance at long last. God, I just love watching him. Apparently, the character artist or the lead designer for this game did the character design for The World Ends With You, and I can see it in the line work, the brush strokes. Like, yeah, the faces I can't register as much because The World Ends With You is extremely stylized, but I can see it in how it comes to life. I vibe with it. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I read about it in a cult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And then they said that the rite can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. I felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think about if I had done something different, Shuichi would be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though, I know it won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the rights. I guess I need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell just how much he meant to you. Oh, hooray. But, and this is a big but, if this rite is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Oh shit. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Sippy sippy. Oh, that's a shame. Shame, huh? That's all? I thought if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? You know what? Let her be a villainess. I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. Is that so? Is it? Dear, oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? Me when you chew. Yeah, I would know. Smooth means. Look at this man. No. Oh, okay. Now I need to like utilize this a bit more. If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am. Not even for a client. Pity. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. I'm doing good! I woke up, I watched Scream 5, and then I got lunch. And now here I am, and I got caffeine, what up? I didn't have coffee this morning, so I was reminded that I have flavored water stuff that's got caffeine in it. It's black cherry flavored, and I was very distracted. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul dregs? If that was all you're after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Months. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My. At last we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. Alright, we're getting through all these little bits. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found, then we can make a decision. Okay, so we're doing that again. Course. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? The Haunting Clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm not sure, or I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money will be all on the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curse makes their bearers more willing to attack, to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your Haunting Clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person. Is that correct? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. Seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward, easy to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. You really think that's good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one in your target's pocket and say that the conditions were already fulfilled before they even know you're there. They won't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't actually have to use it. I could just tell someone I could, and then they have to do what I say. We're planning it. Threats could work, although without any proof it will come down to how convincing you can be. Only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. Let's not. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying. I don't think it's just a curse. You flatter her. She terrifies me. I love her. That's what we do next. First of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous outside of your normal routine. Kitties. Right then, have you decided what you want me to working on? I don't want him to become a murderer, and I want him to stay away from the right. I'll handle the right. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. Oh, hello. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers? Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they're trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up, I can start asking questions. I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi at as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Hey. Now then. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. Alright. There's no telling what kind of curses you might find on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it, and try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, that's all. I should be going. Okay, bye, cowboy. I love you. I wonder how long. Because it shouldn't be like this short little situation, right? It should be branching further. It's almost been an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened. But he hasn't. So all I can do is wait and wait. Television, something on at this hour. I see no point in turning it on. Ooh. What's this? A newspaper. Must have fallen off the chair. It's a newspaper. I only leave them here for guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Ooh. Television. Don't really watch much television. Feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. You have heard it from a reliable source that a baby is streaming? Oh no! Well, you have found it. It's me. I'm the baby. Possibly. I think Crumpet's a little too big. Blue. Blue. Teehee. How are you doing? Good. I want to read the newspaper. Will it let me read the newspaper? There we go. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities have gotten fierce, though. New generation is rebelling, schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. My boy was too sensible to get mixed up in all that. I don't want to read anymore. Only remind me of him. Interesting. It's kind of interesting about the historical elements of education was not accessible for everyone rather recently in different countries. Now that the comedy boom is over, all of the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems to be popular at the moment. Look at all the paranormal specials. Everyone is spending more money, has more spending money to go around. People are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. And now we have these enormous theme parks, gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. I hear the new big thing is some mascot of a line of delinquent birds, mockingbirds, I think it's called. Was that what Richter was talking about? The trends seem to have such a short shelf lives now. How quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way. With their modern worldviews, my generation will only fall further behind. Alright, boomer. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. Big yawn. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. It's about 220 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar is down from its height and the people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much of the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and the supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Interesting. Although, with everyone flocking to the city, the land prices are skyrocketing nowadays, and most people can dream of is home ownership. The city center is going to be nothing but apartments before long. Yeah, it's going to be more apartments in the future. We're suffering. Not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. It looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to get even more polluted. The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and the stank so badly it made my eyes water. Eventually people would start getting sick, and then it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. Alright, one more article. There's one thing Honjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore, not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Let's see what I think. I know it's dangerous to go out, but I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. I have to look for her, for Michio Shiraishi. But first, I need to find more soul drags. Let's go murder! Oh, won't let me murder yet. I need to distract myself somehow. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Maybe reading the newspaper will take my mind off of things. I read it! Damn it! Ah! Suicide at local high school? Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped. Not reading that detail. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure. Huh? What? No, this can't be right. Michio. Her name was Michio Shiraishi from the Komagata High School. That can't be. Well, we're in a pickle. Our fucking suspect number 1 is dead. Michio Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide. But that means Mr. Jonoichi was terrified of someone who already died? Is that what he meant by a curse? I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know. What will he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? Hello? I'm waiting for Richter to call me, but he hasn't. I made sure the receiver's on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Hello? That must be him. Answer. Hello? Hello? Should you need my residence? I just would be sleeping at this point. 2 a.m. is my bedtime. Richter called me out to the bridge and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Buddy, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, Richter, we got a problem. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to 7 mysteries looking for the curse bearers. And I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into at Kinshibori Park. Asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, and he turned questions right back around on me. And then, he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him, but I'm 40% sure he's a curse bearer. He's definitely not, but he works for a curse bearer. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw in South Warigesui Park streets. I'm enjoying it. I do think it falters not having voice acting, because it is a lot of reading, but I am intrigued by the visuals, by the gameplay, by the storytelling. But I think it just would have been elevated even further if there was some form of voice acting, either just a dub or a sub, or just like anything. I feel like the actors could have made this thing come to life even more. Are you enjoying the gameplay? There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hands. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I bet. He'd make a good target. Oh, these two. Yeah, I am having fun. It's enjoyable. It's intriguing. Next up is a pair, a young man and woman I saw around Ryokoku Bridge. This time, the man came up and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about. He backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around here often, looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Although it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in the group might be a decent idea if you can make it work. But with things being how they are, it's gotta be hard to find folks one can trust. They've got brass though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Look at that ass! Last is 2 detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved. Not necessarily. A body turned up in the local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, park's got ties to one of the 7 curses. Might be a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, something's gotta be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye. We found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I. I fucking love this JoJo man. Look at him. No, wait, make that Richter Kai, investigator extraordinaire. My, an investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside. The middle-aged man and the young couple seem the most promising. Am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse's bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others that we don't know about. I'd say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. Once it's boiling, our chance will come.
Okie dokie. Also, I don't know if I responded to this, but I'm glad you're having fun. I am glad that I am also having fun. My rule of thumb for video games is the weirder it looks, the more intrigued I am by it. And I get bored and I will like scroll the eShop because that's where I find a lot of my little games on my Switch for indie stuff. And I'm like, that looks cool. That looks interesting. This had like no fanfare leading up to it, and it's really interesting. Like Square Enix has just kind of like shoved it under the radar.